3 supplements I take have strong evidence that they improve muscle performance. Then we'll have a look at a supplement I take for memory and cognition. The first supplement on my list is the most widely studied of all, and the evidence is so strong that the International Society of Sports Nutrition concluded that it is the most effective nutritional supplement currently available to athletes in terms of increasing high-intensity exercise capacity and lean body mass during training. It also helps with muscle recovery after exercise, and luckily for us, the initial safety concerns about the supplement have been disproven. Specifically, we know that there is no link to hair loss. It does not increase uric acid levels. It poses no risks to our kidneys. It's not associated with dehydration or muscle cramping, and it increases lean muscle mass, not fat mass. The supplement is creatine monohydrate, and I take 5 grams every day, including on the days that I don't exercise. But remember that just because I take these supplements in the video doesn't mean that you should as well. But while many people only focus on creatine's effects on muscles, there's more to the story. 95% of the body's creatine is stored in muscles, but the remaining 5% is found in the brain, kidneys, and liver, and I want to focus on creatine's effects on the brain. During times of stress, such as sleep disruption and even aging itself, these challenges can cause the levels of our creatine in the brain to decrease, and we've got evidence that creatine supplements can restore the creatine levels found in our brain. So to figure out if creatine supplements do improve brain performance and memory, scientists conducted a large review of all of the studies called a meta-analysis that included 10 studies, and the main analysis showed that creatine supplementation improved memory performance compared to a placebo, with the effect being particularly strong in older adults. That provides another reason for me to supplement with creatine 5 grams a day. Now for the second of 3 supplements for muscle performance. There's a striking correlation between decreased muscle strength and increased death rates even after adjusting for other factors. So we want to maximize our muscle strength in youth, maintain our strength in middle age, and minimize the loss in older age. And we know from multiple lines of evidence that higher protein intake improves the muscle building response to exercise, which is why the clinical guidelines suggest to increase protein intake. So what is the perfect amount of protein to maximize the benefits of exercise? Well, a 2018 analysis combined 49 studies and found that protein intakes of 1.6 grams per kilogram of lean body weight per day maximized the muscle building response from resistance exercise. So for an 80 kilogram person, or 176 pounds, that's just under 130 grams of protein per day. That is a lot of protein. For example, beef is only 25% protein, so you'd need to eat just over half a kilogram of beef per day. Now, I'm not saying that you should do that. I'm just using that as an example to show how high this protein intake actually is. But from a British Medical Journal analysis in 2020, we can see that higher protein intakes are not only associated with improved muscle strength, but also with lower death rates. And protein powders are a great option to help reach these high protein targets, and that's the second supplement I'm talking about. The protein is highly bioavailable, and it can be mixed in with smoothies and taken as a shake. And I want to make sure that the powder that I use doesn't have added sugar and salt. And when selecting protein sources, an important factor to consider is their leucine content. So leucine is an essential amino acid, and it plays a pivotal role in initiating muscle protein building. Whey protein is typically rich in leucine, but for those following a plant-based diet, achieving the same amount of leucine intake requires an overall higher protein intake. So pea protein can fit the bill. It's a fantastic source of high-quality protein, and it's not only rich in essential amino acids, but it's easily digestible as well. Soy protein is another one. It contains all of the essential amino acids, but despite what you'll hear on social media, there is solid evidence that soy protein, it doesn't affect the testosterone or estrogen levels in men. The third and final supplement that I take for muscle performance works by accelerating the recycling of our cells' energy storage, called ATP, and it also enhances muscle protein building. But there is some controversy with the supplement. A 2017 analysis found that of the 7 studies published at the time, only 2 of the studies showed improvements in muscle strength and power. So what's going on? Well, the crucial point is that the supplement, when it's combined with exercise, that's when we see muscle performance improvements compared to just exercise alone. Otherwise, there's no effect. And the supplement is TMG. There's 2 other benefits of taking TMG as well, which I'll cover shortly. But first, let me explain how these studies worked. They are what we call randomized clinical trials, which is a fancy way of saying that people in these studies are randomly divided into two groups. One group took the real TMG supplement, while the other group takes something that looks like TMG, but it doesn't actually do anything, and that is called a placebo. But here is the key part. Both groups are still exercising, but the people who took TMG saw greater improvements in their muscle strength and performance compared to the placebo group. And since that 2017 review, more research has been done that's expanded our understanding of TMG and how to get the most benefits from it. For example, in 2021, a study gave TMG to professional soccer players for 14 weeks. The players saw improvements in their 1-rep max, which is the most amount of weight that they can lift in one go. They also saw improvements in their VO2 max and their sprinting performance compared to those who took the placebo. So again, TMG shows promising results when it's paired with exercise. But it's not just about exercise performance. TMG also seems to help with testosterone. So in the same soccer player study, the group that took TMG saw increases in their testosterone levels compared to the placebo group, and that effect was replicated in another 2022 study. Both the TMG and placebo groups did intense workouts, but it was the TMG group that had significant gains in leg press and bench press. Overall, there's good evidence that TMG supplementation can improve both muscle performance and testosterone levels, but there's another intriguing potential benefit of TMG. So just like creatine supplements, it may also improve brain performance and specifically reduce the risk of dementia. So in 2020, a large review of the risk factors for Alzheimer's disease found that high levels of homocysteine, which is an amino acid, were strongly linked to Alzheimer's. It went on to say that homocysteine lowering treatment seems to be the most promising intervention for Alzheimer's disease prevention, and TMG lowers homocysteine. So in other words, TMG may reduce a risk factor for Alzheimer's by lowering homocysteine. Now, this isn't a guaranteed way to prevent Alzheimer's, but it's a promising area of research that I'm going to expand on later in this video when we talk about the 5th supplement on my list. Overall, I take 500 milligrams of TMG every day, and I include it in microvitamin. But again, just because I take a supplement does not in any way mean that you should as well. And on the point of brain health, the 4th supplement I take is specifically for cognitive performance and memory. Then we'll have a look at 2 supplements for heart health. So a massive study in 2022 called the Cosmos Mind Study was published. It involved over 2,000 people, and the study ran for 3 years. The group who took the supplement compared to the placebo or the dummy pill had a statistically significant benefit on global cognition, and the supplement was a multivitamin and mineral supplement. And to be clear, the supplement should in no way replace a great whole food diet and regular exercise. But it was because of the Cosmos Mind Study results that inspired me to create my own multivitamin and mineral supplement called microvitamin. We're currently on version 5, and version 6 should be ready in about 4 to 6 months. Now, before taking microvitamin, I was already taking separate supplements of vitamin B3, D3, K2, zinc, and magnesium. And when I looked for a multivitamin and mineral supplement that combined all of those supplements together and met my requirements, I couldn't find one. Specifically, I didn't want to take vitamin A or E, I didn't want to megadose, and most of the existing products didn't contain vitamin K2. Plus, I wanted to have magnesium in the form of magnesium taurate for the reasons I explain in this video here. Overall, reaching our recommended daily intakes of micronutrients is a good idea, and the Cosmos Mind results provided me with a strong justification to start supplementing with a multivitamin and mineral. There's also another tantalizing prospect that combining TMG with a multivitamin and mineral supplement, plus the 5th supplement on this list, all work together to enhance brain performance and reduce dementia risks. So let me explain. The 5th supplement I take is omega-3, and in my recent in-depth omega-3 video, I shared data showing that people with low homocysteine levels who took omega-3 supplements experienced a 7.1% improvement in brain performance and a 22.3% reduction in dementia symptoms. But for people with high homocysteine, the omega-3 didn't help at all. This suggests that homocysteine plays a critical role in brain health, and the TMG and B vitamins, which are in microvitamin, they lower homocysteine. So I want to be clear that more research is required before any definitive conclusions can be drawn about combining these 3 supplements, but it's an intriguing prospect. And as an aside, you may have noticed that throughout this video, I've used used words like may and possibly, and more research is required. So if you're new to the channel, it may seem strange for a medical doctor to sound uncertain, but that's how clinical medicine works. We don't want to make grand claims without solid evidence. Just because early studies look promising doesn't mean that we should start recommending treatments to everyone. We have to be cautious until we have more data. But there's a second reason why I take omega-3 supplements. From a large trial called the VITAL trial, which involved over 25,000 people, the group who took omega-3 had an unexpectedly high 28% reduction in the risk of a heart attack compared to the group who took a placebo. And when the Mayo Clinic combined all of the data from separate trials, they also concluded that the supplement significantly reduces the risks of heart attacks by about 13% with a high-grade certainty. But just like my warning about megadosing with vitamins and minerals, there are significant risks of megadosing with omega-3, including the risk of developing an abnormal heart rhythm called atrial fibrillation. So personally, I only supplement with 1 gram of omega-3 as a mixture of EPA and DHA, and I'll link to my detailed video about omega-3 in the pinned comment. The sixth supplement I take is also for heart health, and then we'll have a look at 2 supplements that reduce skin wrinkles. This supplement helps to feed the bacteria that grow in our gut, and through this mechanism, we can see improvements in insulin sensitivity, blood sugar levels, blood pressure, and cholesterol. I take between 3 and 5 grams of psyllium husk every day, but when looking at psyllium husk brands, we need to be aware of the lead content. So from an analysis done by consumerlab.com, Organic India psyllium whole husk fiber had the lowest amount of lead. And just like protein powder, it can be mixed into smoothies or shakes, and it helps keep you fuller for longer. The next 2 supplements have strong evidence that they reduce skin wrinkles and improve skin hydration. Then we'll go through a supplement for sleep. The first supplement has evidence from multiple clinical trials that it reduces skin wrinkles by about 8%, and the first supplement is collagen peptides, but it's not without its controversy. Collagen peptides are short chains of amino acids, and amino acids make up protein. So one interesting question is whether simply supplementing with protein would offer the same benefits as collagen peptides. Well, the body can absorb these short chains of amino acids, and they're transported to the skin. So in a 2020 randomized controlled trial of burn patients, for example, one group took protein and the other group took a matching amount of collagen peptides, but the collagen peptide group experienced a significantly higher wound healing rate compared to the protein group, which suggests that collagen peptides do indeed have benefits for the skin beyond regular protein intake. And the benefits were confirmed in an analysis that combined 23 separate randomized controlled trials together, where collagen peptides were shown to improve skin hydration and elasticity. So I take 10 to 15 grams of collagen peptides every day. And in keeping with the theme of improving skin health, the 8th supplement is hyaluronic acid, and I've made a detailed video about hyaluronic acid recently, which you can also find here. Just like collagen peptide supplements, we have multiple randomized clinical trials showing that hyaluronic acid improves skin wrinkles. For example, this study in 2021 showed an 18.8% improvement. So I take 200 milligrams of hyaluronic acid as part of microvitamin. The 9th supplement on this list is for sleep, and then I'll mention one additional supplement that's on my radar. Low-dose melatonin supplements have great evidence from human studies showing improvements in the time it takes to fall asleep and sleep quality, but the big issue is dose and timing. Melatonin helps to regulate our sleep-wake cycle, so taking a low-dose melatonin supplement, it only works if it's taken around 2 hours before wanting to fall asleep. And there's also the issue of dose. The body creates about 80 micrograms of melatonin per hour while we sleep, which equates to about 640 micrograms for an 8-hour sleep. But many melatonin supplements have doses much higher than that, and we don't have long-term safety data about megadosing melatonin. So personally, I take 300 micrograms about 2 hours before wanting to fall asleep. And melatonin doesn't only have effects on sleep, it's also got an anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effect, and that's especially important with respect to aging. So on the point of antioxidants, there's one extra supplement I want to mention. From the age of 45, a powerful antioxidant called glutathione starts to decrease. So by supplementing with the building blocks of glutathione, we can support our glutathione levels and the body can control the levels of glutathione. A small study in 2022 explored this idea where they gave older adults a combination of glycine and NAC and it compared it to a placebo. The glycine and NAC group had significant improvements in their mitochondrial health, but this is very early on the research journey, and out of everything I've discussed in this video, it's got the least evidence. But from the age of 45, I'd consider taking a glycine and NAC supplement of about 1 gram. Now those are the 9 supplements on my list, and if I had to choose only one supplement out of all of them, hands down it would be creatine, for the reasons I explain in this video here.